What if we made Pauper Ruby Storm a little bit more like its modern counterpart by playing Wrenn's Resolve and Reckless Impulse in the deck? That's what we're doing today. Let's go check it out. In front of you is Pauper Ruby Storm, and today we're making it look a little bit more like its modern counterpart by playing Wrenn's Resolve and Reckless Impulse. These cards put cards into the exile zone. In my last video, I made the innovation of playing Land Grant. That's because you can reveal Land Grant to a Wrenn's Resolve and then search out a forest or a wooded ridgeline and put it to your hand. Why I'm playing this today is that it's actually a donation deck from Peyton Story, who submits donation decks frequently here at the channel. Peyton, thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. Peyton had the idea of, well, if we're doing that, well, why do we need Big Score and Pirate's Pillage? Because traditionally you don't play these impulse effects in the deck because they put cards to exile, and then you end up on short on cards to discard to Laughing Mad or Electric Revelation. Well, with Land Grant putting cards to your hand from the exile zone, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So you can actually play a smaller ball game with Wrenn's Resolve, with Reckless Impulse. And if that's the case, you don't need double Reducer in order to win the game. And by Reducer, I mean Thornscape Familiar or the Goblin and Archimancer. One will be plenty. So I think this could make the deck better if the Land Grant plan works, of putting cards from exile to your hand and then discarding them to the Laughing Mad effects. Because one thing that about the last version of the deck is you really needed double Reducer in order to win, and that was a little clunky. With having the Reckless Impulse Wrenn's Resolve effects, you kind of just need the one. So I'm interested to see how it plays out today. And how you win with this deck generally is you play those Reducers, you make mana using Rite of Flame, Manamorphose, and Seething Song, you draw a bunch of cards, eventually you'll play a Gutter Snipe and then start pinging your opponent out. If you need to, there is a Feldon's Cane to shuffle back in your deck and then do it all over again. In the sideboard, we have Seize the Storm and Weather the Storm against red decks. I showcased, that was the big thing in my last video, and it was phenomenal, so go check that out. Pyroblast for blue decks, and then Apostle's Blessing is there to beat decks with tons of removal. I think that it's a pretty good innovation, and thank you to Peyton Story for submitting it once again. A quick promotion over at theepicstorm.com/shop. 25% off all of our merchandise, so token packs, stickers, pens, etc. with code STORM25SAVE. You can go there, use that promo code, and, you know, support us that way. I think that's all I've got for now, so I hope you join me in match number 1, and I will see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1 with Pauper Ruby Storm with Reckless Impulse and Wrenn's Resolve. This hand is very good. We will keep. No clue what the opponent's playing today. I generally don't look up my opponents in Pauper because the format is so cheap where people switch decks so frequently. Where in Legacy or other formats, sometimes I will look up my opponent. Alright, so we'll lead off with the Sandstone Needle and pass the turn. They play a Bridge. Another Rite of Flame. We'll play Hickory Woodlot and just pass here. So with this hand currently, I'm sort of just waiting for a cost reducer, and then we can get moving. They play an Abandoned Attachments here, discarding Sneaky Snacker that will return to the battlefield. I have to say, I've played some Pauper Leagues in my spare time recently. I am not a fan of Abandoned Attachment Sneaky Snacker. These blue decks can just leave the mana open for a long time. Like, you don't have to tap out on your main phase. This card is an instant. So it allows these blue decks to never tap out and then put power into play. It just feels silly for me to say this, but like it feels like it's almost too good. But we're just going to try to win this anyway. I think I'll just play the Wooded Ridgeline and pass here. I thought about Reckless Impulse, but I don't think I'm ready to try to win. So I'm not going to do that. They play a Cryogen Relic, sure. And it's weird, this deck isn't appearing on Goldfish as I record this video, but in my 2 leagues that I've played recently, I faced this deck 5-6 times. It is everywhere. Okay, another land. Let's try the Reckless Impulse and hope that we hit a cost reducer. We hit a Gutter Snipe. I don't know how I feel about this. I'll play the Mountain. We'll play the Gutter Snipe. Play Land Grant. This will put them to 18. We'll grab the other Wooded Ridgeline, I guess. So I could go Rite of Flame, Manamorphose, Laughing Mad, and they would take 8. But is that really worth burning my entire hand? I'd end up with 1 red mana floating, which isn't good enough. I'd have to draw like another Rite of Flame off of the Laughing Mad, or the Manamorphose would have to draw into like a Seething Song. Alright. I don't think it's going to get much better, so I'm going to do it. I don't love this line of play here. Okay. And now we'll Manamorphose. We'll do red-green in case I draw a reducer. Seething Song, okay. So they're going to go to 10. We'll play the Laughing Mad. Discard Wooded Ridgeline. They're at 8. Okay. So they'll go to 6. Grab a Forest. I cannot win this turn. I think it's better to Laughing Mad because I actually would like 3 cards next turn off of Glimpse the Impossible. So they're at 4, and I have to pass the turn. That was better than I expected. Drawing the Seething Song was very good. But I'm pretty confident my Gutter Snipe is going to die now. Alright, so they're at 4 life. Also, we saw a third of our deck and did not find a reducer. That's a little unlucky. They're going to attack. Sure, I go to 16. Moon Circuit Hacker. Maybe they don't have the removal spell. Okay. Moon Circuit Hacker discarding the Sneaky Snacker is pretty sweet. Wow, I guess they just didn't have removal for my Gutter Snipe. That is crazy. We'll bring in Pyroblast. With the other build of the deck, you board out Rite of Flames a lot because versus blue decks, you're not trying to like go hyper all in. But in this build of the deck, you don't have big scores in Pirate's Pillage that make mana on your combo turn. So I don't know how I feel about that. We'll try it and see how it plays, but it might be bad because now the only things that make mana in the deck are Manamorphose and Seething Song. So I don't know if you're actually allowed to board out Rite of Flame. You could instead try boarding out some of the Electric Revelation effects, but I don't know how good that is either. And it's not like you can board out 1 or 2 Rite of Flame, it's either 4 or nothing. Although you could leave in Rite of Flame, I'm just talking out loud here, and then like board out like 2 Seething Song, 1 Laughing Mad, 1 Revelation. Let's try this. It might be bad, but I'd like to at least give it a go. This seems fine, we'll keep. They play Seat of the Synod and pass. Manamorphose. I would like to draw a cost reducer. Goblin and Narcomancer or the Thornscape Familiar plays. Vault of Whispers. Cryogen Relic. Come on deck. Another Rite of Flame. While they're tapped out, I would like to Electric Revelation here. We'll discard the first Rite of Flame. We did not draw a reducer or another land. That was actually kind of tough. Now they play land number 3. Cryogen Relic is back. And they pass the turn with 5 cards in hand. Gutter Snipe. I think I'll just play Felden's Cane and pass. They're representing Hydroblast here, so I don't really want to try to go all in. They cycle Lorien Revealed, Sneaky Snacker, and a land. Still holding open Hydroblast. I guess we'll show my opponent our hand with Land Grant. And I'll grab a Wooded Ridgeline. We'll play it and pass the turn. Now they have 4 mana available. They attack. I'll go to 18. Or they can have another Moon Circuit Hacker. Yep. 6 cards in hand. They play a land, and they're going to pass. We drew our Familiar, but I don't know if I want to risk it dying or just being countered. I think I'm going to try to cycle Manamorphose here. We'll do red-green. Okay, that's not terrible. I wish they had less mana open. I think I'll cycle the other Manamorphose, just trying to hit a land. Red-green. We'll play Reckless Impulse. And a Blue Blast. You got it. Pass the turn. Next step, they use the Cryogen Relic. I don't know why they just sacrificed it like that. They discard Sneaky Snacker to the Moon Circuit Hacker, and now they abandon attachments, discarding another Sneaky Snacker. Okay. Thought Cast, 2 open mana. They play a Snow-Covered Island, refurbish Familiar. We'll get rid of the Gutter Snipe here. But I think this might be a turn I'd like to try to win. Okay. Let's play Thornscape Familiar. Cast Rite of Flame. And another Rite of Flame. How do I want to do this? Laughing Mad. Discard a Pyroblast. They Abjure. I will Pyroblast their counterspell. They draw a card. We get another Reducer. which is good for the flashbacks. We also had another Rite of Flame, so that's all 4 Rite of Flames. I'll play the Goblin, and now we'll flashback Laughing Mad, which costs 2. We hit Gutter Snipe, which costs 1. I suppose we'll play it. And then we'll Electric Revelation, discarding the Pyroblast. They'll take 2. I only have 1 mana floating, so it has to be like 2 perfects here. And it was not. And now we'll Electric Revelation again. Oh no, I can't. It costs 1 more. I'll play the Sandstone Needle. And we'll pass the turn. They're going to attack for 8. I'm going to let them draw off the Moonstruck Hacker. I think my creatures are worth more than them drawing a card. They have another Moonstruck Hacker. Yep. Refurbished Familiar is back. I will discard the last card in my hand. Unfortunate. And now they have the cast down for my Gutter Snipe. That's both Gutter Snipes in the graveyard. I will flashback Electric Revelation. They Hydroblast, I will concede. Okay. This deck has a lot of permission in it. I will say this, the Wrenn's Resolve Reckless Impulse stuff is a lot better against blue decks than Electric Revelation and Laughing Mad. Just like not having to discard a card and getting blown out by a counterspell is pretty nice. I'm going to resubmit and hope it's good enough. Okay, game 3 on the play. Good hand, keep. We'll play a Mountain and pass the turn. They play a Bridge. You draw another Gutter Snipe. I will try the Goblin and Narcomancer. If it sticks, well, who knows, but if it does stick, I'm more likely to win the game. If it dies, oh well. They play a land and a Snacker. Okay, so I could play Gutter Snipe here. Or I could try to hit a land off the Wrenn's Resolve. I think I'd like to try to hit a land. And I did. We'll play the Gutter Snipe, pass the turn. They play Thoughtcast. I'll play another Gutter Snipe. And then we'll Pyroblast the Sneaky Snacker. They'll take 4. And then we'll attack for 4. They're at 12. Refurbish Familiar. I'll discard a Pyroblast. They play a land, 1 open mana here. We'll try Seething Song. That resolves. Let's Glimpse the Impossible. They're at 4. And the opponent conceded to Glimpse the Impossible. Didn't even wait for the cards to be revealed. I'll take it. We got a little lucky in this one. But sometimes you need luck in order to do well. We're 1-0 in this Pauper League. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2 on the play. Yeah, we keep these. Very good hand. Thinking about the deck in between match 1 and match 2. If I could play a deck with no Laughing Mads or Electric Revelations, but instead just like 16 Reckless Impulses, I think I would. I don't know if enough of those effects exist, but maybe I'll do some homework after the league is over and see what my other options are. Just 2 islands from the opponent here. Let's try a land grant. We'll grab the forest. And then let's try a Reckless Impulse. We reveal Mountain, land grant. So I can play the forest here. And then I suppose I can play these cards next turn. Although I don't know if there's a benefit to that. So I guess I'll just play the land grant now. We'll grab a Wooded Ridgeline. Pass the turn. They play another island. End step, let's Laughing Mad. I'll discard the Wooded Ridgeline. And I draw 2 lands. Less than ideal. Okay, we'll play the Mountain from Exile. Let's try Reckless Impulse. This time they counterspell. Sure. Pass the turn. Another island. They have 6 cards in hand. Let's just play out a Gutter Snipe. Like, if this eats another counterspell, I'm very happy about that. And it does. Sweet. Okay, so they're playing black. The more you know. Thorn of the Black Rose. They have 1 open mana here. Although they likely have Snuff Out based on what they're playing. I will play Goblin and Narcomancer. And then let's Glimpse the Impossible. Okay, that was pretty good. We'll play Manamorphose. And here's the Snuff Out. They should have responded to Glimpse the Impossible. I'll Manamorphose again. They have Dispel. Okay, that's a lot of interaction. Manamorphose, we'll do green-red. Seething Song was pretty good. We'll play the land, play the Seething Song, Wrenn's Resolve. Okay. Need more mana. Let's Wrenn's Resolve again. Okay, well that was pretty good. I hit Manamorphose and another Reducer. We'll do red-green. Play the Reducer. Electric Revelation, discarding Laughing Mad. Rite of Flame. And now I can Revelation again, discarding Goblin and Archimancer. Ooh, double land. Okay. Let's Reckless Impulse. Pass the turn. They have 3 cards in their hand, drawing up to 4. They will get to draw a card off Monarch on the end step as well. Another Snuff Out. They play Tolarian Terror. 3 open mana. No blocks. We'll play another Goblin. Play Seething Song. They have 3 cards in their hand. They have Counterspell. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. 3 pretty good cards to the graveyard. I don't love to see that. I'll play Sandstone Needle. And we'll get 3 Eldrazi's. Pass the turn. They're at 12. They play Accumulated Knowledge. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. They play the land off of Lorien Revealed. Still 2 blue mana open for a counterspell. Sacrifice an Eldrazi Spawn. Let's Laughing Mad, discarding Hickory Woodlot. Another main deck Dispel. Okay. Will Electric Revelation from the graveyard, discarding Electric Revelation. Play Seething Song. Sacrifice the Eldrazi Spawn. Will flashback, discarding the Thornscape Familiar. Manamorphose. Red. I don't think I need the Rite of Flame, so I'll Laughing Mad here. I want the Felden's Cane, so I don't really want to discard that. I'll Laughing Mad from the graveyard, discarding Electric Revelation. We'll play Seething Song. Revelation, discarding the Rite of Flame. Play Glimpse the Impossible. Laughing Mad, discarding Thornscape Familiar. Alright, so there was an unfortunate couple draws there, but we're still in it. Play the Forest. I wonder if I should actually just start being willing to get rid of the Felden's Cane here. I think the answer is yes, so I'll play the Rite of Flame, play the Gutter Snipe, and then we'll Laughing Mad, discarding the Felden's Cane. They would need a 3rd Snuff Out here, and I feel like if they had it, they would have used it. I don't have another Forest, so I should not play the Land Grant. Well, Wrenn's Resolve, this puts them to 8. Wrenn's Resolve puts them to 6. Land Grant for free, this puts them to 4. I have no deck. Am I even capable of winning here? Oh no. I don't think I can win. I didn't think about that with the Wrenn's Resolves. Maybe I shouldn't have played Wrenn's Resolves. I think I cost myself this game. I was like, oh, they're cheaper to flashback. I'll save the mana for the Revelations. Not thinking that I can't just cast them without drawing and responding to my own spells. I think I cost myself this game. I guess I can cast this holding priority. And then I cannot flashback the other because I don't have a card to discard. This was my own fault. I should have won this one. That's brutal. We'll bring in Pyroblast. Because if I had held the Wrenn's Resolve, I actually could have stacked 2 draw spells. I just didn't realize that I had emptied my deck out already. I need to pay more attention. Okay. I was just playing too fast. Alright, on the play. Sure. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass the turn. They play a Ponder. Wooded Ridgeline, pass. They have a Swamp already for... Ooh, now they have a discard spell for Snuff Out. My hand is kind of stinky. Like, drawing more of these Electric Revelations isn't what I wanted here. They take my Pyroblast. They have 6 cards still in their hand. Well, Laughing Mad, discarding an Electric Revelation. I did not hit a land. Pass the turn. They have land number 3. They just pass. We'll send it back. They play a Brainstorm and Accumulated Knowledge. They play an island into Thorn of the Black Rose. So they likely have Snuff Out open, and I don't actually have the resources to win. Because this Hickory Woodlot makes green, so if I Seething Song, I don't have green mana to play a Goblin. I pretty much have to draw a land. That actually allows me to start. So I'll play the Goblin, Manamorphose, please no Snuff Out. Red-green, play the Seething Song. Let's Wrenn's Resolve. I can play Land Grant. Oh no, I can't because of this Wooded Ridgeline. Alright, so let's Electric Revelation, get rid of the Wooded Ridgeline. I wanted to play the other Goblin and Archimancer, but I keep on drawing more lands. Let's Reckless Impulse and another Goblin. Needed mana. We'll play Wrenn's Resolve. We did hit a Manamorphose, but now I'm out of mana. So I'll play the Mountain. Need to Manamorphose into a Rite of Flame or a Seething Song. Red, green. And we did not. So I can play the other Goblin. Pass the turn. I can play these cards next turn as well. They play land number 5. 6 cards still in their hand. They play Tolarian Terror with 2 blue mana open. We drew another Sandstone Needle, so I don't think we're going to be able to play the Land Grant. Let's try Reckless Impulse. Another Land Grant and a Thornscape Familiar. Let's try the Thornscape Familiar. Play a Sandstone Needle, and we'll pass the turn. Just choked on mana this game. They just play a land, 6 cards still in their hand. They attack, I'll take it, I go to 15. Another Familiar. Let's Laughing Mad from the graveyard, discarding the Sandstone Needle. Play the Land Grant. They have 7 cards in their hand after the draw from Monarch. We'll play the land. Let's Electric Revelation, discarding the Thornscape Familiar. And I think I'll just pass here. They play another island. They attack. They have 7 cards in their hand. Before the draw, let's Electric Revelation. I'll discard Rite of Flame. The Rite of Flame only makes 1 mana because there's none in the graveyard. And we hit the Felden's Cane. Pyroblast. Let's play the Felden's Cane and see if it resolves. It does. Play the Mountain. Let's try Gutter Snipe. They counterspell. I will Pyroblast. They counterspell. I think I'd like to just pass the turn here. And step they Brainstorm. Bajuka Bog. I will use the Felden's Cane. They swing. I go to 5. Another Tolarian Terror. And another Tolarian Terror. 3 cards in their hand. Gurmag Angler. 2 cards in their hand. Alright, so our opponent says GG, so they assume that I'm dead. I don't think I am, but we'll find out. Let's Electric Revelation, discard the Goblin and Archimancer. And then let's Laughing Mad, discard a Reckless Impulse. And then we'll Laughing Mad, discard Sandstone Needle. Okay, let's see what I can make happen here. Play Seething Song. I do want this to resolve. They counterspell. I will Pyroblast. They have another counterspell, so I'm not dead. I need to Glimpse the Impossible into some red mana. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. I did not hit red mana. So I can play the Thornscape Familiar as a blocker, but then I start next turn with no reducers. Wait, no, I can... Hold on. I can get 3 Eldrazi spawns here to block with. So I'm not dead. I'll play the Forest, pass the turn, and now I get 3 blockers. They swing. Okay, we'll throw our blockers out in front. Not dead yet. Although I only have 1 Gutter Snipe left to win the game with. I've already used the Felden's Cane. They play another Gurmag Angler. And now they draw a card using the Monarch. So they have 2 cards in their hand. Let's start with a Reckless Impulse. We'll play the Thornscape Familiar. Let's Electric Revelation from the graveyard. Discard the Rite of Flame. Play Rite of Flame. Wrenn's Resolve. Play the other Rite of Flame. We'll Manamorphose. I don't think I need any more green mana here. Laughing Mad, discard the land. Laughing Mad again, discard Wooded Ridgeline. I need to find the other Gutter Snipe pretty quickly if I want to win this. There it is. We'll play the Gutter Snipe. Seething Song. Reckless Impulse. We'll Manamorphose. Red, they're at 14. Manamorphose again. Red. Manamorphose. So now they're at 10. Even if I don't win this match, I do think like the preemptive like GG I beat you is just like kind of bad manners. Wrenn's Resolve. Play the Rite of Flame. Let's Wrenn's Resolve again. They're at 4. Glimpse the Impossible. They're at 2. Reckless Impulse. Alright, so we've taken game number 2. No changes from my side. You could bring in the Apostle's Blessings in order to protect your creatures. I just don't know how you're supposed to bring in more than Pyroblast. Like, having both is a lot. I'm going to just resubmit. Yeah, this seems fine. Keep. They play Contaminated Aquifer. We'll play Sandstone Needle, pass. They have an island. And they have the turn 2 Pilfer once again. This can discard the Gutter Snipe. And it does. We'll play Mountain and let's Land Grant. Grab a Wooded Ridgeline, we'll just pass the turn. They have another Contaminated Aquifer. We drew another Land Grant, we'll just pass. They accumulated Knowledge. They have land number 4. I'll just pay mana for Land Grant here. If they want to counterspell this, go for it. We'll grab the other Wooded Ridgeline, play it, and pass. No getting choked on red mana this game by having basic forests. Another accumulated knowledge, so that one draws 2. They have land number 5, 6 cards in their hand. They play a Ponder. You draw the Felden's Cane. I would like to Reckless Impulse. We'll play Sandstone Needle and Felden's Cane. Pass the turn. They play Brainstorm and an Island. So they still have 6 cards in their hand. We'll play our land. Let's Wrenn's Resolve. And I'll pass the turn. Gutter Snipe, Pyroblast. They accumulated knowledge for 3. Okay, they have 9 cards in their hand. They play land number 7. They discard the Bojuka Bog. Let's play the Gutter Snipe. They counterspell. I will Pyroblast. And they play Dispel. Okay, so we'll pass the turn. They have 5 cards in their hand now. They play Brainstorm. And now they cycle Alorian Revealed. It's interesting because I would be interested in hardcasting that at this point, but maybe I'm wrong. Galarian Terror. They have 5 open mana. End step. Let's cycle Manamorphose. Red. And then Electric Revelation, discarding the Rite of Flame. Okay. I will draw for turn. It's a Pyroblast. That's a good one. They have 4 cards. I'll play the Land Grant. Grab the basic forest. We'll play it. Play the Goblin. That resolved. Let's try Reckless Impulse. Double land. Not great. Okay. Let's try Seething Song. And Glimpse the Impossible. We revealed a Thornscape Familiar. Not a lot of draw spells in there, which is kind of disappointing. They snuff out on my Goblin. Sure. I'm at 5 minutes. I do need to play a little quicker. We'll play Rite of Flame. And Electric Revelation. No, I should Glimpse the Impossible. We'll play Manamorphose. Red. Play the Goblin. And then we'll Revelation, discarding the Pyroblast. We'll play the Rite of Flame. Use the Felden's Cane. Land Grant. Grab the Forest. Play Laughing Mad, discard the Forest. Laughing Mad, discard Land Grant. Play the Goblin. Laughing Mad, discard Thornscape Familiar. Laughing Mad, discard... No, we'll just play Reckless Impulse. Pass the turn. Okay, 4 minutes left on the clock. I can still do this. They swing. No blocks, I'll go to 15. They have 4 cards. Unexpected Fangs. That's a little annoying. Okay, they're at 26. 3 cards in hand. We'll just start by going to combat. Swing out. I didn't need to attack with the Eldrazi spawn, but I did. They cast down. Sure. So I'll play Wrenn's Resolve. Play the Thornscape Familiar. Glimpse the Impossible. They counterspell. I'll Pyroblast. 3.5 minutes left on my clock. Play the Rite of Flame. Manamorphose. Red. Reckless Impulse. Glimpse the Impossible. Seething Song. Wrenn's Resolve. Seething Song. We'll play Electric Revelation, discarding the Wrenn's Resolve. 3.5 minutes. There's the Gutter Snipe. Revelation, discarding Rite of Flame. Trigger. They're at 20. Revelation, discard Thornscape. They're at 18. Revelation, discarding the land. They're at 16. Laughing Mad, discard the land. They go to 14. Let's Land Grant. Let's just do this now while I don't have hand. There's 12 cards left on my deck. Okay, Land Grant again. 2.5 minutes should be plenty. We'll play the Rite of Flame. Glimpse the Impossible. They're at 6. Let's Wrenn's Resolve. They're at 4. I think we got it. Rite of Flame. We got it. GG to you. Alright, we're 2-0 in this Pauper League. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3 on the draw. We have essentially a 5-land hand here, but I will keep. I like the stability of good mana sources. We can discard some of these cards to the Electric Revelation. I think that it's fine. The opponent with a very fast mulligan to 4. This probably tells me our opponent's on Spy combo. And if that's the case, my hand is probably too slow for the matchup, but we will see. Either that, or they're digging for like a main deck Nile Spellbomb or Bazooka Bog because of who I am. But I'm not playing Cycle Storm today, so that is not a concern here. They play Basic Forest. Bogles! Okay. We'll play the Hickory Woodlot past the turn. So that allows me to play the turn 2 Thornscape Familiar, which was a tremendous draw on our side. They have Basic Plains, 2 cards in hand. Our opponent plays an Ethereal Armor. Our opponent says, I lost over 600 play points trying to make Poison Storm work before I gave up using it. I jokingly said, should have played my list. Alright, so I'll take 2 here. They think that I'm on Poison, but I'm actually on Ruby Storm today. Ooh, another land was not a good draw. We'll play the Thornscape Familiar. And now Sandstone Needle. Pass the turn. They attack for 2. I'll take it. I go 2-16. They have 2 cards still in their hand. They play another Glade Cover Scout. We draw another Land Grant. Not the best. We'll play Sandstone Needle and pass. On their end step, I'll use an Electric Revelation. Ooh, they have a Ram Through. That's not good for me. Ah, what a draw. We'll use the Electric Revelation, discard the Wooded Ridgeline. And then I can Manamorphose here and dig a little bit deeper with the Revelation. And I did hit another Reducer. Get rid of the second Land Grant. I drew another Land Grant. Okay. So my Thornscape Familiar dies. Not the end of the world. Now they can attack for 3 and I'll go to 13. Play the Forest. Play another Thornscape Familiar floating a red. And let's Land Grant. Grab the Wooded Ridgeline. Actually, no. Let's grab the Basic Forest. I'll Manamorphose. Red, red. Laughing Mad, discard the Forest. And now I'll Land Grant and thin out the last land. Pass the turn. They play land number 3. I'll take 3. I'm at 10. We'll begin by attacking. We're at 18. I'll use the mana from the Sandstone Needle, which will go away at this point. We'll play Goblin and Narcomancer. Let's try Laughing Mad, discarding the Wooded Ridgeline. No mana. Okay, a little nervous about that. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Rite of Flame. Play Laughing Mad, discarding Electric Revelation. Electric Revelation discards Wrenn's Resolve. Player Mountain. Not a lot of mana. We've seen half our deck at this point. I will play Reckless Impulse. And there's 2 rituals. So assuming I'm not dead, we're probably good to go next turn. I don't even know if Ethereal Armor kills me. It gets close, I think. So Ethereal Armor costs 3. Their creature gets +4 and then +2, so it'd be 6, 8, 9. No blocks. I might have said the wrong enchantment name. I meant Ancestral Mask if I said a different one. They drew a Slippery Bogle. Alright, well, it's time to party. We'll begin with the Rite of Flame. And then Seething Song. Laughing... Well, hold on. I should play out the other Thornscape Familiar, because it makes all of these cost 1. Discard Sandstone Needle. Well, there's the Gutter Snipe. Electric Revelation, get rid of the Goblin and Narcomancer. They'll take 2. Play Wrenn's Resolve. Player land for turn. Another Wrenn's Resolve. They're at 12. Glimpse the Impossible. There's Rite of Flame. Okay. Glimpse the Impossible. We'll play another Glimpse the Impossible. They're at 4. Seething Song. They're at 2. Reckless Impulse. Okay, so we get game number 1 over Bogles. I don't think I make any changes. Like, you could bring in Weather the Storm so that way you have more time. But what are you cutting? Like, I guess you could cut, like, 1 or 2 Electric Revelation effects. I'm going to just resubmit, I think. Maybe I'm being foolish. We'll cut 1 of each Revelation effect. We'll see how this goes. Maybe 2 Weather the Storm is fine. I do like the Reckless Impulse effects, though. So far, the deck has felt a little bit smoother, less clunky. I think in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to play Electric Revelation or Laughing Mad. But I don't know if there's anything better that exists in Pauper. Like, more Wrenn's Resolve effects is what I'm saying. Like, Opera Love Song is an uncommon, for example. And I don't think things like Highway Robbery are the same because I don't want to discard cards. I just want the Reckless Impulse effect. And I know that there's a bunch of other things that are similar, but they're not quite the same. No mana, no keep. Yikes. Mulligan. I think we're going to go to 4. Best hand we've seen. Get rid of... I think you have to get rid of the Manamorphose. Okay. Not a lot of good-looking hands in this second game here. We have Forest into Abundant Growth. Hey, we ripped a... Oh, I can't play that, I guess. Cancel. So next turn I can go Forest, Goblin, and Archimancer, assuming I don't draw another land. They play a Ledgewalker, and I did draw another land, so now I can't. I guess I could play this now. Maybe I should have done this last turn. We'll pass. If I went on a mulligan to 4, how insane would that be? Enter a deck that requires me to discard a bunch of cards. They play land number 3, 4 cards still in hand. Slippery Bogle, Rancor. I'll take 3. Another Thornscape Familiar. Play the Goblin and Archimancer and we'll pass. It seems like my misplay of not playing out the land grant that one turn is going to cost me a turn cycle here. They play Utopia Sprawl. They choose green. They have a ram through. Okay. They have 1 card left in their hand. They swing. We'll play the Thornscape. Pass. Now they have a Thraben Charm. Okay. Highly disruptive draw from Bogles, which is not what I'm used to. I'm at 8. We'll play the Thornscape Familiar. And pass. Please don't kill me, and please don't kill my Thornscape Familiar. They play Abundant Growth. 2 cards still in their hand. They play a land. Alright, it looks like I'm not dead. They'll swing. I'll take it, going to 4. Sandstone Needle is not a good draw. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. I think I'd like to Glimpse the Impossible. Like, I don't think I'm in a spot where I'm supposed to play Gutter Snipes yet. Let's play a Wren's Resolve. No mana. Play the Sandstone Needle. We'll play Land Grant. Grab Wooded Ridgeline. And Weather the Storm. 1821. I am the aggro deck. Rawr. Alright, so both of my Gutter Snipes are now in the graveyard, so we will need the Feldon's Cane in order to win. So we lose to another Thraben Charm. They play Malevolent Rumble, and they hit Ancestral Mask. That's not good for me. Now their creature is an 11-9. I guess I'll block the 1 power creature. No point in blocking a creature with Trample. We hit the Feldon's Cane. Okay. The downside is that I'm not in a spot where I can win. Pass the turn. I guess I can attack for 2. Armadillo Cloak. 15. I have to block with the Thornscape Familiar now. They have 16 coming in. That stinks. Oh, I can't block it. My creatures don't have flying, so I'm just dead. Okay. Whoops. Alright, so we fizzled. Not enough resources. It happens. We did mulligan to 4, and I sort of made a comeback. Let's try it again. On the play for game 3. Sure. No reducer, but this is a fine enough hand. We'll play Mountain, pass the turn. Utopia Sprawl. Play the Sandstone Needle, pass. The Ledgewalker is back. And Glade Cover Scout. We'll play Mountain, and I'll use the Land Grant now, and we can go grab a Forest. Let's play Reckless Impulse. Pass the turn. Rite of Flame and a Seething Song. They play Rancor, and Ethereal Armor, and another Slippery Bogle. 7 damage coming in. We draw Laughing Mad. I was really hoping to hit a cost reducer there. We'll play Rite of Flame, play the Seething Song, and let's Glimpse the Impossible. Not very good. I'll burn the other Seething Song, Glimpse the Impossible. I hit a reducer, but if I play it, I cannot Weather the Storm. I think I have to play the reducer here. If they have Ancestral Mask or another Ethereal Armor, I'm toast. Am I really supposed to give up my reducers just to stay alive? Alright, so I think I am. I'm going to just Weather the Storm here. I'll gain 18. And then I will accept getting a bunch of 1/1s. That could have gone better for me. They play Armadillo Cloak, and now they attack for 11. This will put me down to 20, I'll take it. They're at 29. We drew the Goblin and Archimancer. Let's try Glimpse the Impossible. We hit another Gutter Snipe. Play Laughing Mad. Discard Laughing Mad. Play Rite of Flame. Sacrifice an Eldrazi spawn. We'll play the Gutter Snipe. And then sacrifice the spawns. We'll flashback Laughing Mad. Discard Electric Revelation. We'll take 2. Play the land. Play the Rite of Flame, which will make 4. And then we'll Electric Revelation. Discard Seething Song. They're at 23. Manamorphose. Green, red. Play the Goblin and Archimancer. And then we'll Wren's Resolve. Pass the turn. And they have Ancestral Mask. No way I can beat this, right? Oh no, I'm not dead. I go to 2? Sure. They gain a ton of life, but we can deal a lot of damage if I draw well. I don't think I'm actually allowed to cast this Wrenn's Resolve because I need to discard it to the Electric Revelation. So we'll discard. Manamorphose was a good one. Actually, hold on. Cancel. I think I'm supposed to land grant first. They go to 33. Manamorphose. Red. I mean, I need this Feldenskane. We'll play the Thornscape Familiar. Electric Revelation, discarding the Wooded Ridge line. I need mana. Okay, we'll Manamorphose. Red. I have 1 Weather the Storm left. I don't know if I'm supposed to make green mana. I feel like the answer is probably not. Just because I'm so light on mana here. This land grant does nothing. Well, Laughing Mad, discarding the Wooded Ridge line. They go to 25. We fizzled. They got me. Alright, so that's a bummer. Our deck just didn't come together in the post-board games. They did have a really disruptive draw in Game 2, but they didn't in Game 3, where our deck kind of just didn't operate. So, unfortunate. It happens, and we are now 2-1. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Let's bounce back in match number 4. We're on the draw. Alright, so we can go turn 1 Wooded Ridgeline, turn 2 Forest into Goblin and Narcomancer, turn 3 Thornscape Familiar plus Gutter Snipe, and then see where we go. Another blue deck. Okay. Play the Wooded Ridgeline, pass. And step they Brainstorm. In between games, I did look up on Scryfall Reckless Impulse effects, Legal, and Pauper. It's literally just the 2. There's Reckless Impulse and Wrenn's Resolve. And then there's a third one called Seize Opportunity that costs 3. So, as of right now, you can't build an entire deck with those effects. I wish you could, because I don't really want to play the Electric Revelation effect, but oh well. They cycle Lorien Revealed for another island, and they pass. We'll play Forest into Goblin and Archimancer. Looks like they have 4 spike here. Yep, okay. I knew it was a possibility. They play Island number 3 and a Brainstorm. A Mental Note, getting rid of a Deep Analysis and a Ponder. And now a Tolarian Terror. Okay, so we'll begin with a land grant. Go grab the other basic forest. And now we can... Best way of doing this. I honestly think it's a Narcomancer, because then later on the Thornscape is a little cheaper. And now we'll Manamorphose red-green. Play the Seething Song. Electric Revelation, discarding the Hickory Woodlot. Let's play the Gutter Snipe and Reckless Impulse. Pass the turn. Needed some more mana there. They play Island number 4. 4 cards still in their hand. They swing. I'll go to 15. And a Cryptic Serpent. 3 cards still in hand. We'll play Thornscape Familiar. And let's try Laughing Mad, discarding Laughing Mad. This triggers the Gutter Snipe. 3 cards still in their hand. They counter spell. We'll play another Thornscape Familiar and pass. 3 cards in their hand again. They play land number 5. They could flashback Deep Analysis this turn. No blocks. I'll take 11, going down to 4. 2 cards remain. Murmuring Mystic. Okay. So red mana is the choke point here. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. And I did not hit red mana. That is unfortunate. If I could have hit a mountain in there, that would have been such an easy win. So I'm going to attack. I think their last card in hand is a 4 spike. So I don't think that they can make a bird here. If it's like a Mental Note, I'm going to feel a little foolish. It's a Brainstorm. Okay. So I guess I'm a fool. The way they were posturing, I thought for sure it was a 4 spike. Okay, so I lose my Gutter Snipe. Obviously not the best. And now I'll get some Eldrazi's. I'm sorry, I lose my Gutter Snipe. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. I feel like maybe that was dumb to swing, and I shouldn't have played into it. Also, only 1 red mana source, like, not going super well for me here. But it was the line I had to take in order to attempt a combo that turn. I had to get the forests. They have 2 cards in their hand. I have to block. Did not flashback Deep Analysis. Let's Electric Revelation, discarding Laughing Mad. They Thought Scour in response. And now a Brainstorm. Yeah, I feel like I punted this by attacking with the Gutter Snipe, because they could have been at 10 right now, and they had another counter spell. Maybe nothing matters. Maybe I would have lost anyway. Alright, so if they swing out, I take 3 in the air going to 1, and they have the 4th power. So I guess in hindsight, my mistake didn't matter because I was stuck with no red mana. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked anyway. Alright, bummer. Bring in the Pyroblast. Got 1 Revelation, 1 Laughing Mad, and double Seething Song. Game 2 on the play. If we rip another land, this is good. Alright, I'm gonna risk it. We'll play Wooded Ridgeline, pass. They play an island. We did draw the land, lucky. Pass the turn. They Mental Note, milling over island and a counter spell. They play land number 2. We draw a Laughing Mad. I'm going to pass, and then on their end step, I will play one of those draw 2 effects, hoping that it can create a window for me to do something meaningful on my turn. They play land number 3 and a Ponder. They did not shuffle. End step, I will Electric Revelation, discarding Laughing Mad. It's hit by a Force Spike. Okay. We hit a land. Let's try our Goblin here. Goblin and Archimancer. It resolves. I think I'll just pass. If they have a Hydroblast, it's bad for me no matter what. And if I wait, it's better because I have more mana. Like, I don't need to push right now. They mill over Thought Scour, Lorien Revealed with their Thought Scour. They play land number 4 into Tolarian Terror. 3 mana still available. Let's play Reckless Impulse. They counter spell. I think I'd like to respond here. Let's Manamorphose. I might draw into like a Pyroblast, so it's something I'm interested in seeing. We'll make red, and another Manamorphose. Red. I did not draw a Hydroblast. I guess I could Electric Revelation. Let's do that. Discard Hickory Woodlot. Alright, I'm going to just let this go. Play the Rite of Flame. And now we'll try Seething Song. Wrenn's Resolve. Play my land for turn. Let's Electric Revelation. Discard the Wooded Ridgeline. Play Rite of Flame. Wrenn's Resolve. Hit another Goblin. We'll play that. Wrenn's Resolve. Play the Land Grant. Grab a Forest, and then we'll Electric Revelation, discarding the Forest. Pass the turn. They play land number 5. 4 cards still in hand. We'll take it down to 15. Ouch. They play another Tolarian Terror. We'll play the land from exile. Let's try Glimpse the Impossible. They have 3 cards still in their hand. They've seen 2 copies of Counterspell already. We hit a Thornscape Familiar, we'll play that. And a Reckless Impulse. Into double Pyroblast. Okay, I think we have to pass. I do get an Eldrazi blocker here. They attack, I'll block. And then let's Laughing Mad now, because if they have a Force Spike, I can sacrifice and pay. They do have the Force Spike, but I can sacrifice the Eldrazi and pay for it. So they fell for my trap, so we'll pay. And now Laughing Mad. 3 cards still in their hand. We'll begin with Electric Revelation, discarding the Land Grant. Now they play a 3rd copy of Counterspell. I'll use my Pyroblast. 2 cards still in their hand. They use another Counterspell. Is that all 4? That is all 4. Will Pyroblast. I don't know why they're choosing to fight this turn when I have the double Pyroblast up. They have 1 card remaining in their hand. We'll play Sandstone Needle. Play another Thornscape Familiar. Pass the turn. They Mental Note and mill over Envelop and Hydroblast. Now they Brainstorm. They Thought Scour, getting rid of 2 islands, so that was a pretty good brainstorm for them. And they're going to swing. So this will put me to 5 because I'm not going to block. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. And I hit the Gutter Snipe. We'll play it. They Mental Note in response. We'll play the Rite of Flame. They'll take 2. They Envelop. I'm going to respond. We'll Manamorphose, because I could always draw into Hydroblast. Or, I'm sorry, Pyroblast. So I don't want to just give up here. We'll Manamorphose. Red. Let's Electric Revelation, discarding Goblin and Archimancer. Alright, it looks like I have to let this be countered now. We'll play the Gutter Snipe. Glimpse the Impossible. They'll take 4 now. They're at 8. We can Wrenn's Resolve. They'll go to 4. Player land. Laughing Mad. Discard the Thornscape, and then that will kill them. I could also attack, but attacking, why would I want to do that? Alright, so we win game number 2. No changes. Let's try it again. Game 3 on the draw. So we have a 1 of Sandstone Needle hand. I mean, if we draw more lands, this hand is very good. They play Island into Ponder. They did not shuffle. We'll play Sandstone Needle and pass. I did not draw the land that we desperately need. They play Island and just pass. Okay, things are going to start going downhill from here. I'll play Wrenn's Resolve. Hopefully this resolves, and then I hit a land. Or 2. It does resolve, but no lands. Ugh. Okay. They Thought Scour, and another Thought Scour. They play land number 3, and a Cryptic Serpent. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Reckless Impulse. No lands. Alright, I'm going to concede. That was ugly. 1 land in our top 14 cards. Yikes. Alright, so we're now 2-2. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final round. On the draw, this seems fine enough to me. I will keep. Another blue deck, wow. Alright. Not what I wanted when I signed up for this league. But we'll play Land Grant. Grab the Wooded Ridgeline. We'll play the Wooded Ridgeline and then Land Grant again. Grab the Forest. Pass the turn. So with Ruby Storm, you're not really looking to face a lot of blue decks. You'd like to avoid that if possible. You'd like to face a lot of decks like Vocals that we managed to lose to because our deck kind of just, fizzled out. But decks that are more like ships passing in the night are what Ruby Storm would like to face. And instead we faced 4 highly interactive matchups in the league today. So, not great. They swing. Draw another Seething Song. We'll try a Wrenn's Resolve looking for lands and reducers. I'm hit by Spell Pierce. Pass the turn. They cycle a Lorien Revealed. They're playing black. That's interesting. You normally don't see Delver in the black decks. We'll try another Wrenn's Resolve. No lands. Pass. Galarian Terror. They swing. They have 2 cards remaining in their hand. We find Thornscape Familiar, but am I supposed to try to play this Wrenn's Resolve to hit another land here? I think so. Wrenn's Resolve, and I completely miss. What is with this deck right now? That was a window for me to do something meaningful, and we just missed it. Bajuka Bog, they have 2 cards left. The tap land isn't going to help me here. I don't know what a winning game looks like. So I guess if I cycle Manamorphose into a Rite of Flame or a land, I can play Seething Song. So I hit the untapped land. And I can Seething Song now, but I can't play Reducer because I don't have green mana. Play another Seething Song. Glimpse the Impossible. I hit Manamorphose, so that does allow me to play a Reducer here, but I feel like we're all out of mana now. Green. Green? We'll play the Goblin. Play Thornscape Familiar. Yeah, I fizzled. Looks like they might have a removal spell here anyway, and they do. Okay. That was rough. Okay. We'll bring in Pyroblast. This has not been the most fun league, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not even sure if it's the deck's fault. It's kind of just like the matchup lottery of facing mono-blue interaction. Technically not mono-blue, but blue interaction repeatedly. And I'm not sure how I feel about the deck. So, I mentioned that this is a donation deck, which means that I don't pick the deck list. It is submitted to me and I play what the person would like. If I had my druthers and I was playing my own list today, I'd probably be playing First Day of Class. I'm really interested in trying the lesson plan out of the sideboard. I think First Day of Class is a really powerful card, and we just got a bunch of new really good lessons, like the card I was complaining about in match number 1. What is it called? Abandon Attachments. And then there's Waterbending Lesson as well. So those are cards that I'd like to try. I actually don't like the list that people are playing right now. Like, I wouldn't be playing Leyline Weavers, for example. I'd want Rite of Flame in my deck, but I think there's something there, and I'd like to play it at some point. We'll play the Goblin and Narcomancer, Manamorphose, red, green. We'll play the Land Grant, thin out a Wooded Ridgeline, and then we'll discard it and draw 2. Pass the turn. The previous builds that I've recorded, I do feel like are a little clunky. I'm not going to lie to you. They have the Snuff out. Yeah. And now my land is going to die. I just have to pass. Like the builds that are just 8 Pirates Pillage, big score effects, those ones do feel clunky. I don't think Leyline Weaver actually fixes that. It just means that your deck is more high variance. So I am not interested in playing the Leyline Weaver. But I don't have the answers. Like, I'm just sharing how I feel playing various lists and my insights based on past combo decks I've played. So we're at 11. We miss again, I'll pass. They have 7 cards in their hand. Okay. I go to 8. They play Bazooka Bog. We did not hit a land. Let's play Rite of Flame. I will Pyroblast this. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. 7 red mana. Glimpse the Impossible. Land, Wrenn's Resolve. Not the best. We'll play Wrenn's Resolve into into land Felden's Cane. I can't win this. Yeah, I'm going to call it. This league was a bit of a nightmare. So, I'll be honest with you. This deck I don't think is viable if there's a lot of blue in the metagame. It is a deck that is looking to pod race, and the second your opponent even throws a rock at you, it trips up a little bit. It's just not a very resilient deck. I don't know what else. I felt pretty lucky to even win those first 2 matches. So, in general, I think this is a great deck for an FNM. It's not a deck that I would ever bring to a large tournament. Maybe the first day of class list changes that. I'm not sure. But I'm not confident that Pauper Ruby Storm is where it's at. I do think Cycle Storm is an incredible deck, and I would recommend that. I also really like the Poison Storm deck. But Pauper Ruby Storm is just so fragile. And I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm trying to give you honest feedback. So, Paint Story, thank you for the donation deck, but ultimately, I don't think that Reckless Impulse and Wrenn's Resolve fix any of the problems with the deck. I do think your insight of, well, now you have Land Grant to discard to Electric Revelation is relevant. It's just, I don't think it moves the needle on the deck's playability. My honest 2 cents. Thank you to everyone that watched the video. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. What you should do is like, comment, and subscribe because there's no better way to support us. And if you enjoyed this video, head over to moxfield.com and follow us there. It's truly the best deck website on the internet. We update all of our decks there regularly with the latest and greatest technology, so you're always up to date. Once again, go check out Moxfield, and thank you for watching.